So, yeah, all in all, you're gonna have games like that, and coming out on top is what's a must. You know, the fans will be leaving here now thinking, okay, we've got the 3 points and we're happy. And you know, you can't win playing amazing football every week.
Ron, if we would have seen that performance under Jose, would people be moaning?
I would hate to think what the phone-ins might have been about, but at this stage of the season, there is a saying: the all-important thing is results, and they've won. So that is the all-important thing. We've seen a wonder goal. I mean, I thought the first goal was absolutely sheer class. We've also seen a scrambled one, which
was offside?
I think it was offside, but it was a hard call for the linesman. But for me, it was probably offside. But you know, that happens when things are going for you. And today, I think we'd all agree. I think even the most fervent Man United fan would agree. Things went our way. You know, the Watford they played well. They missed some chances. I don't know what might have happened if he'd have got not the equaliser, but the Watford goal 10 minutes earlier. We might have had a grandstand finish.
Yeah, or even maybe had a go with that free kick towards the end. Let's just remind ourselves of exactly what the top of the Premier League looks like now. That win for United puts them into the top four, and of course the teams below them, Arsenal and Chelsea, they haven't played yet, but who cares? I'd rather have points in the bag than games in hand. Level with Tottenham, of course, they play Liverpool at Anfield tomorrow. 4 p.m, still a long way to go. Well, 7 games if you call that a long way. But Danny, back into the top four. The most important thing is that win, and the fact that United, if they don't get Champions League football from winning the competition this season, at the moment they have it for next season via the top four.
Yeah, 100%. And you know, Ollie said before the game, it's 8 important games coming up, and that's one we've scratched off now. And it kind of doesn't matter how you get into the Champions League spots as long as you do it. Then in the summer you can, you know, regroup and then make a real push to be dominant next season.
Why, when I look at the United's starting 11, even more so actually when I look at the midfield, when you've got players like Matic and Pogba, they didn't really perform today, did they? Why was that, do you think, Ron? Well,
first and foremost, I thought the opposition were terrific in midfield. I thought there was a spell for 20 minutes just before half-time when, as I mentioned at half-time, when Mata moved into and got that little spare position in midfield. A lot of things went through him, and you know, United then dominated for 20 minutes. Second half, for whatever reason, Mata, he wasn't as effective as maybe that's because of lack of game time and stuff like that, and obviously taking him off probably signified that. But I would also say I did think they had 2 very, very powerful midfield players. The lad that scored, obviously, he was good, and that had a lot to do with it. I really do. I mean, Watford were very impressive. They'll get on the coach or the train tonight and think they've been robbed. Actually, you know, they've come and give a performance and looked a very good side, but results matter at this stage.
We did see changes as well. On 62, Herrera Mata came off. Danny Lingard Pereira came on, and then we saw Anthony Martial come off with 14 minutes to go. Marcus Rojo came on. What did you make of those substitutions?
I think the first 2, you know, Mata rarely does play more than an hour, you know, for one reason or another. Herrera coming back from his injury as well, I think that's probably what they looked at and thought, give him an hour and freshen it up a little bit. And at that point, they were overpowering us. So it was up to us to make sure that we put a bit of pace into our team and injected something. And then I just think the final substitution, which was Martial coming off for Rojo, just to shore up at the back a little bit, because you know, despite the scoreline, you know, they were pushing us hard, and it was important that we make sure we shut up shop. Okay,
more from our team. Lou Mackay will join us in just a moment as well. And a reminder, you can have your say 01612361968. Before any of that, let's get the views now of Paddy and Stuart.
Caretaker or permanent makes no difference. Ollie still gets the job done. This wasn't vintage Manchester United. They had to work really hard here. They took the lead from pass of the season from Luke Shaw through to Marcus Rashford. Really good finish from a front man who's so confident at the moment. 1-0. That after Watford had probably played better in the first 25 minutes and created more opportunities. Again, Watford started the second half, made a couple of good opportunities before we thought United had killed them off. 2 subs combining, Pereira and Lingard, into Martial, who at the second attempt scored from close range. 2-0, all over? Not quite, because late on, Decore with a magnificent finish made it 2-1, and then we were just a little bit tense going into stoppage time, but United saw the job through, they got the job done, and they put in the pressure on Arsenal and Tottenham.
Yeah, you've got to give all credit to Watford as well, Stuart, how well they've played. You mentioned it there when you were doing your little speech, but I thought they were terrific. Watford made it very difficult for United. United were terrific in the first half. You thought 2 goals were... No, you didn't think 2 goals were enough. You'd have liked another one. They didn't get the other one, then they scored and made it more difficult in the end. But all credit to Watford, they played very well, and they'll be disappointed they've not got something out of the game. But United have done well to get 3 points.
But when you get to this point in this sort of 8-game league, really, frankly, all that matters is the wins, isn't it, really?
Oh, you're under more pressure than anything, Stuart, now to finish in the top 4, which United are. They're getting the results, Stuart. Sometimes you'll not play your best and to not play your best and get a result is terrific in actual fact. To play your best and get a result, you expect that anyway. But to not beat your best and get a result, terrific. It shows a lot of courage amongst the players.
Only thing that mattered today was the result. United won 2-1.
That is all that mattered today, isn't it? You can have your say. We'll go to the phone lines in just a moment. 01612361968. I'm told that the phone lines are always quiet when we win. Why? Come on, pick up the phone. I want to hear your thoughts. Before we go to the phone lines, let's get the thoughts of Lou Macari. Lou, good to see you. What did you make of those 90 minutes then, Lou?
Well, it's a difficult 90 minutes for us, but we talked about Watford before the game and how well their manager had done, and the teams responded, once again today. Watford teams in the past, they'd have come to Old Trafford and lay down and you'd have beaten them easily, but that wasn't easy today by any means. 3 months ago, we'd probably drawn the game or lost it. Today, with Ollie in charge, different spirit in the team, different approach, people getting forward in numbers, people getting back in numbers as well, which is equally as important. And as a result of that and the hard work that our lads put in is probably the main reason why we've won the game. We were under pressure for long spells.
Interesting you say maybe 3 months ago we might have lost the game. Do you think 3 months ago we wouldn't have pushed for that second goal at 1-0 up?
Probably no chance of doing that. No, it's different now. Ollie knows what's required here. He knows what the supporters want and demand, and up to now he's given them it, and I don't see any reason why all of a sudden that will change. We've got a different style of play now, which is more going forward. Style of play before was more defensive, a little bit negative, and I don't know what Josie was thinking about, because as a manager I've always held him in high regard, and here at the start of his career here at Manchester United I thought he was doing well. Then all of a sudden everything just seemed to change. Everything changed. The way the team played, his approach to the games, and now Ollie's in charge. I think we've seen already with the games that Ollie's been in charge a completely different way of approaching every game.
Okay, we'll go back to the boys in a sec. Let's get your view, shall we? 01612361968 is the number that Anthony in Birmingham has dialed. And good afternoon to you.
Good afternoon. I forgot your name.
Lou. It doesn't matter my name or Lou's, or it's irrelevant.
Anyhow, good afternoon.
And as long as you remember your question.
It was a good performance in one way, because at least they got the win.
Okay. Any questions you'd like to ask the team?
Yeah, I think he's